on the village to know that bakujja ku street. That is your goal. You are a failure. Because once they get you off the street, what else? You know? Let's turn to the book of Matthew, chapter 7, verse 24 to 27. Is someone there? Matthew? Someone said yes. Who is there? Yes. Matthew 7, 24 to 27.
Matthew 7:24 says, "Therefore, whoever heareth this saying of mine, and he doeth them, I will liken him unto a wise man, which built his house upon a rock. And the rain descended, and the floods came, and the winds blew, and beat upon the house, and it fell not. For it was founded upon a rock. And every one that heareth these sayings of mine, and doeth them not, shall be likened unto a foolish man, which built his house upon the sand. And the rain descended, the floods came, and the winds blew, and beat upon the house, and it fell. And great was the fall of it."
You know, we have two men pictured here. Two men. One is foolish and one is wise. One is building upon the rock. That is the wise man. And then we have one that is foolish. As long as my status has the most beautiful girl, as long as this, I don't care. People will know. At least I've made a mawulire, you know. The wise man invests in something spectacular. The foundation. When you are building on the rock, you cannot build on top of a rock. You have to dig deeper. You have to do what? You dig. You bring excavators. You dig deep until you find that this is where my foundation should do what? Should be starting from. And there is something that is interesting about building a foundation. How many of you have seen people build houses? Yes, we have seen. How many of you have seen people taking pictures of the foundation? They take the pictures and they post. How many? It's rare. It's rare. Maybe you saw the foundation of the church because they were fundraising. You Paul, we need money, the foundation we have reached here, you know. But it's rare to find a foundation being posted. Why? It is the most important part of the house, the most, but invisible. No one notices it. Yet it takes bags and bags of cement, it takes rocks, it takes energy, it takes the wisdom of the engineers to put up a firm foundation. Now the wise man invests in the foundation, building on the rock. He gets all the tractors, all the wise people to come and dig and make the foundation. That foundation is not made in one day. It is not made in a week. Is this thing working? Or should I put it off? It is not made in one day. Not in a week, not in a month, not in two. But invest in the foundation. Months and months digging the foundation. I don't know how many bags of cement this man invested. I don't know how much material he put down in the foundation. But he knows this is the most important part. I know very few people are even interested to visit the house when it is at foundation stage. You tell your friend, come and visit my foundation. I've invested 1 billion so far. You know? And remember, the taller the building, the deeper the what? The foundation. He digs and digs. But now the foolish man is like, I can't waste all these resources. I'll go on the sand. You know, with the sand you can even use your what? Your hands. the hose. Everyone can dig. You call a few village boys, they come and dig. And in a week, the foundation is done. He builds, and then he brings the tiles. I hear they put the glasses. Then they fix the furniture. They put this and that. He takes pictures of this and the other, while the wise man is still working on the what? On the foundation. Just in a few weeks, probably less than a month, the building is up. He's enjoying the luxury. He does the housewarming. And then he enjoys. The wise man is still building the foundation. Are we together? I don't know how long it took this man. Probably in 2 years the house was ready. And for this foolish man, in a month the house was ready. And then they both enter their houses. Let me tell you, you determine the strength of the house by the foundation. You determine the strength of the relationship, of the marriage, by the foundation. So, if you build your relationship on sand, then just know it will be swept away. It will be swept away. Because your foundation was destroyed at the start. And Psalm 11:3 said, if the foundation be destroyed, what can the righteous do? What can they do? When you are digging your foundation, you should put the best material. You should put your energy, all your wisdom and everything. Because you cannot change the foundation. I can change the windows. I can change all this place and remove all these windows and put different things. But I cannot change the foundation. Are we together? You can change the doors and say, we no longer want to pass here. We shall be passing here. We close this place and done. But you cannot change the foundation. Are we together? So, we single people, how do we prepare for marriage? Because preparation is the greatest foundation you can do for the marriage you are going to enter in. We are entering into a marriage, and when we swear, we say, I, Grace, take you, James, to be my husband, to love and to hold, for better, for worse, for richer, for poorer. That is forever. And you know, forever is long. You know? 20 years ago, for me. And some of you have just made 20. Isn't it? Yes. But now you are swearing for forever. Are we together? You are swearing for? What does that mean? Prepare very well. Dig your foundation. So, most of you will be asking, how do I prepare for marriage? How do I dig a deeper foundation? I'm going to give you 7. 7 is a perfect number. 7 things we can do. There are so many, but I've picked out the 7 which I think are very important. The first one is do a self-check. Do a self-check. Screen yourself. Ask yourself a question. How many people have I lost in the few years? Friendships. Grace was my friend. I dumped her. I picked Julie. And after a few months, I dumped Julie and got Martha. And after a few months, I dumped Martha. Check yourself. How many friends have you kept? How many friends have you lost? People who keep friends normally can keep a marriage. Are we together? If you cannot relate well with people, what makes you think you will deal with Grace and relate with her every day, 24/7, for forever? Because forever means till death does us part. And you know it can be long. It can be. So if you are not a good person in keeping relationships, check yourself and ask yourself, what is wrong with me? Fix that. And then begin having a firm foundation. Okay? It begins with you. Can you keep your friends? Can you keep relations with the people in your family? Can you relate to your father and mother very well? Because where you are going, we are going to relate with your in-laws. You are going to relate with the different people. You'll have different children in your house. And they also have fathers and mothers, and we are social beings. We keep relating to one another. Screen yourself. Am I able to keep friends? Do you have some of the childhood friends, nursery friends? How many of us do? Keep your friends. Because if you can relate to those nursery friends very well, the primary friends, the secondary friends, you can collect a village of friends. Just know you can ably relate to another person. That is a strength. So if you are still weak in keeping relationships, we are social beings. This is even a strength when you go to work, because we relate with people day in and day out. Are you able to relate well with people? Are you able to keep your friends? When we are with our friends, the road is not always smooth. It's not always smooth. But do we run away from them because they haven't done what we expect them to do? Screen yourself. Are you a good person? If you can't keep friends, that means you are not good enough. What does that mean? Go into your foundation, break that bad part of you, and fix it before you build and get a wife or a husband. Remember, this marital foundation is also the foundation for your children, for your offspring. If you're not good at relating people, even your children will be like that. Because they see it from the mother, they see it from the father. Are you able to relate with others? Build a firm foundation right now. If your foundation is shaky, if it is broken at the beginning, now, what can the righteous do? Because even in marriage, how will you keep her? How will you keep her? In marriage, opposites attract. You are totally different. Are we together? So, deal with this. Deal with yourself. Check yourself. Number two. Can you manage to control your sexual urge? Can you manage? Some people behave like goats. Yes. A goat has no sister. A goat has no cousin. A goat has no auntie. A goat has no mother. Okay? For it will mount anyone it finds. So if you are behaving like a goat at this time, before you get married, and marriage is zero grazing. One spouse for a lifetime. Some of you are laughing. But I know there are people who are behaving like goats. Control yourself. Let me tell you, we are human beings. Why I'm talking about this? I'm talking about this because we are human beings. You may be walking and you find a very beautiful girl, and probably she has exposed some of the private parts. The boobs are out there, and they are juicy, everything. Goats, as long as the goat sees, it will do what? It will charge and immediately do what? Self-control. Self what? Control. Because I know all of us are tempted. It's not bad to be tempted. When you are tempted, just know I am human, because even Jesus was tempted. But do I yield to temptation easily? We are digging a foundation. We are digging a foundation. It begins with me. It begins with me. Young people, when you are at the university, so many things happen. And you think we old people don't know. We know because we were your age one time. When I was sleeping in Mary Stewart, I had one of the roommates. She's one of the beautiful girls. Have you ever seen this flawless girl? But the way she was trained, she grew up, I don't know, because we tried to share deeply because I was always on her neck and she was telling me, you don't deserve to be in Mary Stuart, you should go to Africa. I told her I deserve to be here. This is a girl who would carry her clothes today and go and sleep in Lumumba. Tomorrow she goes to Nkrumah. The other day she goes to, different people. A very beautiful girl. And I told her, you are such a beautiful girl. Why are you wasting your life? And she was like, what's wrong with that? Now, if you are behaving like that, what makes you think that in marriage, today you will not come at Mr. Bisheko's place and then the other time you're at a girl's place, the other time you're at, Deal with yourself right now. Are we together? Deal with yourself, because when it comes to marriage, it is zero grazing. You are going to be tempted, but you have to carry yourself soberly back home and even tell your spouse, today I found a hot girl. She was really hot, but you are hotter. You get it? And then you cool down from home. So make sure your foundation is strong when it comes to dealing with your sexual urge. Number 3, can you manage to take care of yourself? Can you manage to take care of yourself? I always tell people, before you carry someone on your back, probably if you are climbing that hill, make sure that you can carry yourself first. If you can't carry yourself across that hill, don't dare put someone on your what? On your back. Because before you reach the mid, both of you will be down. Can you take care of yourself? Can you feed yourself? Can you feed yourself? You want to marry, but you cannot afford one meal. You are chikomando. And even the chikomando is for banja. Can you feed yourself? Now, after knowing that I can feed myself, can I feed an extra person every day without complaining? Because when you get married, like it or not, you must feed another person breakfast, lunch, and supper. Can you feed yourself? It begins with you. It begins with. Now, can you feed another person? Can you dress yourself? Can you dress yourself? Now, if you can't afford to dress yourself, what makes you think you'll dress up another person? This goes to both of us, men and women. Can you dress another person? Because once you get married, if you're a woman, you will like your man to get out smart every day. Can you dress him up? Now, if you're a man, can you dress her up? For women, it is easy to dress up men. Men need 2 pairs of shoes and maybe sneakers and another flat shoe. And then as long as they have like 2 black trousers and a few shirts, you just make them clean. But when it comes to a woman, hey, she puts on blue, light blue, smanya navy blue, smanya what? Each one has there is a shoe, there is a dress, there is a handbag, there is a headscarf, So, can you dress yourself? Can you dress that woman every day, today in a blue, tomorrow in royal blue, the other day in a navy blue, the other day blue, Are you able? Are you able? Can you do that? Are you able to do it without complaining, lovingly each and every day? Sometimes men complain and they say women are demanding a lot. But that is what God called you to do. Go to the book of Ephesians. Ephesians, get my mic to the man. Ephesians chapter 5, 25 to 27. I want a man to read this. Yes, Ephesians. Yes. Ephesians 5:25 to 27. Men, read. What does God tell you to do? 25 to 27. Listen carefully. This is for men. Women, you may close your ears for a short time.
Okay, the Bible says, husbands, love your wives,
Yes.
even as Christ also loved the church and gave himself for it.
Yes.
26, that he might sanctify and cleanse it with the washing of water by the word, that he might present it to himself a glorious church, not having spot or wrinkle or any such thing, but that it should be holy and without blemish. 28. So
that is where I want you to stop. What does the man have to do? Love, nourish her, sanctify her, present her holy, glorious. Now you get a woman from her home when she's malnourished, she's thin, she's not looking good. Make sure in the next year their family will ask, is she the one we gave you? Nourish her, take care of her, love her, satisfy her, so that when she goes back to her village, they're like, Mrs. Bisheko has come. Are we together? If you get a woman from her home and she's musiwuf, and then you make her more musiwuf, you are not worthy to be called a man. Because you are supposed to nourish her. That is what men are supposed to do. Beautify her. Beautify her. Take care of her. Let her glow. Let her glow. Let her glow. Make sure you fulfill all her desires. Make sure you fulfill all her dreams so that she can look more beautiful. Look more, because the Bible says you present her a glorious what? Church. A glorious. Let her glow. Let her look more than the Mogole she was, so that people can be like, mudde mwembaga tewamuwasa buki bulungi luli yali tanyirira bwati, you know? Do it because it is your responsibility. Let her grow and grow and glow. That is the glory of a man. Are we together? And likewise, women. Huh? If you want the people of Chikacho Mami to forget the husband, just make him glow. He will be walking and, you know, he will forget anyone because he knows there is someone there who is cultivating. Okay? So cultivate. Take care of your plant. Love it. You know, I'm a farmer. I know how I can go to someone's garden and tell them there are a few days when someone is not passing here. Because when you don't love these plants, they will also look malnourished. So you will look at a woman, you look at a man and see that this man is not well fed. He's not cared for, he's not loved. You look at a woman and say, this one, you know? So you have to present her glorious, glorious, different. Work to see that you prepare to see that I'm ready to prepare this woman and make her different and make her forget her clan and everyone she has ever met. But it starts with you. Do you take care of yourselves? Do you take care of yourselves? Is your foundation firm? Are you ready to carry someone else on your back? Or it's shaky? And if the foundation is broken, what can the righteous do? If you want to be attracted to the best man, to the best lady, take care of yourself. Be able to take care of yourself. Number 4. Number 4. Do you face your tigers? Do you face your tigers? Or you run away when tigers come your way? Do you face your problems? There are people who have a tendency. When I get a problem, I run away from that village. Nenjunji corner, I remove each and everything and I move away. There are people, when they have challenges with others, they just run away. I have a problem with this, run. Running away from the problem does not solve the problem. If that is what you are, check your foundation and break that stone, remove it, uproot it, and fix and put a better stone. Dig deep into your life. Do I run away from home because they are mistreating me? Do I run away from people because they don't treat me the way I want them to treat me? Do I run away from problems? Now what happens? When you get into marriage, Ada will come and you have no sauce. Maybe you have yokaunga, but you have no sauce at home. Are you going to run away to the neighbor's house where there is meat? If you have a tendency of running away, if you have a tendency of not facing your tigers, that means even in marriage you will do what? You run away because it is a habit. And a habit turns into a character. Running away from problems does not do what? Solve them. You are going to get into marriage expecting to have children. And then when you get into marriage, you don't have children. What are you going to do? Are you going to run away? Man, are you going to run away? Woman, what are you going to do? Huh? Are you going to run away? You'll go to a marriage expecting to get beautiful girls. And then you keep giving birth to boys like me. Are you going to run away? Eh? Are you going to go to the neighbor's home where they have girls? Face your tigers. Learn to face your tigers while still alone. That when I get a problem, I get face to face with a gorilla, we have to wrestle until I do what? I overtake it. Learn to solve your problems. Don't run away. There are some couples who get just a minor challenge and they get displaced for life. Why? They left that stone in the foundation. And when you come to assess what happened, this man did not bring meat the first week, even the second week and the third week. So what? So if something is not in your home, what's the problem? Tomorrow you'll have it in plenty. Stop running away from your problems. Face your giants. Face your tigers. Learn to face your tigers each and every day. When a gorilla comes face to face with you, just show it I'm calm and I'll overcome you. But if you're the kind of person who runs away from all your problems, even in marriage, you will do what? You will run away. And you know marriage is forever and ever. And forever is really long. I told you it's what? It's wrong. Let me tell you, in marriages, all marriages have problems. No one should ever lie to you that there are no problems in marriage. Why? We are reading about two men, two wise men. One built on the sand and one built on the rock. And what happened? The winds did what? Came. The winds that came to the one who built on the sand are not different from the winds that came to the one who built on the rock. They were the same rains, they were the same winds, and they came to both of them. But now if you are the kind, now there is no school fees, I'll run back to my mother. So what? Where does your mother run to when there is no fees at home? And some of you, you have these parents who tell you, you know, when you have problems, come back here. Ask them, I've never seen you going back to your mother. When you go back, I'll wait for the same years you've made in marriage, then I'll also come back here. So who tells you that when problems come, you run away? You must face your giants. Learn to face your tigers now. Learn to face your tigers right now. And know that when a problem comes, kati nkuze. I have grown. I'm not going to. One time I was told by my auntie, omwana ne bw'aba akufiira mu ngalo, even if your child is dying in your hands, never shout, never alarm, never cry. At that time, stand and know that you have grown. And it happened to me. My own son, the firstborn, was dying in my hands. He was collapsing, losing energy, and the eyes were moving. And all the people around me were running away, meanwhile. And I saw some ladies peeping through their windows to see what is she going to. I remembered that word from my auntie. Grace, kati okuze. You have grown. I struggled with him to put off the sweater, and I put him here. That day I walked to hospital, I didn't meet any border. When you have problems, there are no borders, there are no taxis on the road. But I walked up to the hospital with my child where? Here, putting on gumboots because it had just rained. And when I reached hospital, the doctors pulled the child, took him to a room, and I just sat somewhere and began praying. And I told myself, even when he dies, I will not shed a tear. Because people were running away from me instead of helping me. Now, crying, what will crying do? I will not. And Lord, I'll praise you and tell you you are mighty God, and I'll shame the devil. That was ringing in my mind. But most women, when they see a child, they even put off the clothes. How will you be able to walk to hospital and save this life if you are now shouting and putting off your clothes? Are we together? So, learn to face your tigers. Learn to face your problems. There are problems we get, and I cannot tell my father, I cannot tell my mother, but I know, me with my God, I can do what? Face them. There are people who get problems and they'll tell the whole clan. The aunt comes and, you know, my husband didn't buy meat the other day. And the other day he brought half kilo of fish, You tell your auntie, you tell your sisters, you tell your brothers. Let me tell you, when you have challenges in a home, it's not a wedding. On a wedding, everyone is invited. If a wedding is here, even those campuses, they say, hey, what is there? They'll come and attend. It is not a funeral that even a passerby will come and do what? When you have problems, you just have to know I have matured, and a mature person deals with their problems personally. So as you prepare for marriage, you prepare to know that when giants come, I'll meet them. When I face a lion, I'll meet this lion and kill it. Are we together? You have to prepare your mind now, your foundation right now. For me, I've gone to theater twice. But my mother will only know like 5-6 hours after I'm out of theater and I'm stable. I've taken a child to theater and I'll just let them know when we are out of hospital. Why? People will stress you for nothing. What happened? I'm not a doctor. Eh? All I know is that they are going to cut and fix. Learn to be strong and face your giants. But these things of telling everyone, by telling them you are not solving the problem, you are even spreading stress and problems to them as well. So dig your foundation deeper. Okay? So now, when we are talking about that, there are some things I think I should highlight. There are people who go to marriages and probably one of the spouses is not working. Are we together? One spouse is working and the other is not working. It doesn't matter who is not working. And then you are like, this person is becoming a burden to me. But why do you see that burden? Because your foundation was weak and shaky. If my husband is working and is the sole breadwinner, there are no problems. If I'm working and I'm the sole breadwinner, then there is a problem. Why? My foundation is what? shaky. Are we together? Times will come when one of you is not working and not bringing in an income. But if both of you have a firm foundation that we are in this together, we shall overcome together, you will not have challenges in your marriage. You have to dig the foundation right now. You have to dig the foundation right now. Right now. If we don't have children, the Bible says children are a gift from God. If that gift doesn't come, supposing on your birthday I don't give you a gift, will you die? You've already made your years. So if God has given you a marriage and the gift doesn't come, the children haven't come, what will you do? You go to the neighbors? I know some of you will be influenced by your parents, by your aunties, by your relatives, by your friends, But if your foundation is firm, no one can even get close to you, can interrupt into the matters of your family. Because if your mother is telling you, yes? If your aunt is asking you, how do they want to help? This is a personal issue. So dig your foundation on a firm ground, knowing that these are my tigers. I face them myself, not you. Go out of my matters, okay? So that is facing your tigers. Another one. I always ask people, when we want to go to marriage, number 5, what are you ready to offer in this marriage that you are entering? What are you ready to offer? What are you willing to give? I always love women because I'm always with girls, and girls will have their list. I want a very tall guy, very handsome. He loves me. He buys me flowers every day, gives me money, buys me a car every new year, does this and this for me. He takes me out to, I'm being realistic. Those are the dreams of girls. Because I have been a girl, and I'm still a girl, even after 20 years of marriage. You have a list of I want, and I want and I need. I even needed them yesterday, isn't it? But what are you willing to give in that marriage? Where is your list of things you are willing to give? What are you willing to put in that marriage? How many bags of cement are you going to invest into that marriage so that it can stand firm? What value addition are you going to give to that man? What are you adding onto him? What are you planning to add to that person? That you are getting into marriage for profit. Then go with your want list, your need list. You cannot go into a marriage when you are selfish. Because marriage is about sharing each and everything. We share from the basics of, we share the bathroom. If you are a perfectionist here, you know what it means to share a bathroom. We share a bed. I'm telling you, in marriage, you share a bed. You share a towel. Can you imagine? You share a towel. Are we together? Yes. There are days you will share a toothbrush. Married people can tell you. You go on a trip and you find you have one toothbrush and both of you must do what? Brush. Okay? You share your time. When you are single, you can go and say, hey, Julie, let's go for kachai. You go to Java's, maybe up to 10 or 11. But once you are married, but I think I'll be back at 10. But 10 is far. You come back at 9. Now, okay, let me see whether I'll make it. 9 comes. Where are you? You said you'll be here by your time. It's your time. But now you are married. Since you are married, you even have to give accountability and share and even keep reporting about time. That is sharing. That is what? You share your money. Your hard-earned money. You get your salary, you go to a window, you buy something and your husband says, why did you buy this? Was it important? Your hard-earned. You come back and your wife tells you, but now why did you buy that car? We already had the other one. Huh? You know? You have to share your money. And you know, this is where the problems come in. And I always ask women, oh sorry, someone's pen. I always ask women and men, people don't want to share their money. They don't want to share their, but they can share a bed. They can share what? And they even share babies. Unless you are a ritualist, how can you share your babies with someone, but you can't share your money? Eh? You can't share your money, but you share your babies because they are the most precious, something you cannot replace. Money can be replaced. I get a problem, I say, woo, all of you will give me money here, isn't it? Eh? If I just shout, even from my hidden Chideka, the mob's children will say, no, we have to help out that woman. Isn't it? But can you replace the babies when you lose one of them? You share babies with someone, but you cannot share your wallet. So if in your heart you are so selfish to share your wallet, you are not ready for marriage. First remove that brick. Because money are papers, isn't it? And money is mugenyi, visitor. Today you have a 50,000, not tomorrow it is in her pocket, isn't it? She sells to you something, she takes the money. Are we together? So as you prepare for marriage, be ready to share even your money. Even your, you just bring the money, now what we need to do. I always tell men, if you don't want problems in your family, don't handle the money, just give your wife the money. And if she doesn't build the house, it is up to her. Because it's for her and her children. You get it? You'll cease to have problems. Because she's investing in her. You just tell her, if you don't build your house, it's up to you. The plan is there, the money is. You get it? We share everything. She has your children. And you know, sometimes when I go back to the curse that God gave to a man, I'm like, God told him, you will toil till you die. There is no place where God put luxury for a man. So even if you hide and you say we won't give her these lands, you buy them and keep them somewhere, you keep your money in the bank and you don't show it to her, you are toiling for nothing. You better give away the money. Are we together? Likewise, women. However much you hide, if you are planning to buy a plot and hide it in your mother's names, let me tell you, you will die early. And when you die early, your child will not share even a toilet bit on that plot because you gave it to your mother. Me, I'm telling you, because we've seen these things. So, what are you ready to offer? Are you ready to share your everything? Your time, your resources, your personal things with another person without complaining, lovingly? If you are selfish, you don't qualify to get a partner. You have to break that stone and remove it from your foundation. Work on yourself. Build a firm foundation. Don't build on sand. Build on the rock. And then deal with your past. Number 6, deal with your past. Deal with your past. There are those cross-generational curses and cross-generational failures that normally follow us. And some of us don't want to believe this. I want to tell you about a man called Abraham. We all know Abraham, in the Bible. He had a barren wife, isn't it? Abraham did not deal with that problem. What happened to Isaac? Isaac got a barren wife. Isaac didn't deal with the problem. What happened to Jacob? Jacob also had a barren what? Wife. How do we deal with those cross-generational curses and failures? Look out for them and pray about them. Break that curse. Break that failure. You may be coming from a home where your grandfather used to fight and chase your grandmother across the Nakawa Hill and everyone knows. And that is your judge. Pray about that spirit of fighting and strife and tell God, let it end with them. Let it not come to me. Let it not come to my children. And that prayer will change you and make you a better person, that you'll have a marriage where there is no fighting, where there is no strife. You may be coming from a family where the marriage failed. Your father and your mother failed. Your grandparents also did what? Failed. Deal with that. Pray about it and tell God, I want to get a marriage and I want to get in my marriage. Ate siri noba mukama nga gwokoze ki nga gwoli nange. Pray and pray about that. You may be coming from a family where there is abject poverty and no one even has a bicycle. Pray about that curse of poverty and tell God, I'm getting into marriage. We don't even have a bicycle in the whole clan, even the whole village, but I'm coming to meet someone's daughter. I'm praying that God, you give us wealth, overwhelm us with wealth, change the status. Let it begin from me and my children and my grand. Cross-generation what? Curses and failures, okay? You may be coming from a lineage where there is barrenness. Pray about it. You may be coming from a lineage where there is a particular sickness you know. Pray about, deal with it, deal with your past. You may be coming from a lineage where they can drink and drink and drink and sleep in the gutters. Pray about it. Because even when you're in church here, you can die a drunkard. And we've seen that happen. You can die a drunkard. Because you didn't deal with your past. Deal with each and everything. Dig a firm foundation. And tell yourself, with God on my side, I'll never drink. I'll have a perfect home. Now, number 7, the last point, and the most important point. Are you ready to serve? Are you ready to serve? Are you ready to serve? Marriage is one of the biggest ministry where we keep serving each other every day. Are you ready? How many deacons do we have here? Deacons? Yes, we have. Yes, these are deacons. I want to ask you a question. How many times do you come here a week? Once. You come once a week. You, Others, how many times do you come here a week? Twice or thrice a week. Who cleans up all these chairs? That is the work of the deacons. They clean the chairs, they clean the room, they'll usher you in to see that everyone has a seat. Even those that come on holy ground and it's late, they'll make sure you have a seat in the church. Are we together? But no one ever says thank you to the deacons. Has anyone ever come to you and they say, thank you so much for cleaning our chairs every Sabbath. Thank you for ushering us in. Has anyone ever come and done that? Now let's go back to marriage. Marriage is a ministry where you serve and serve and serve, and no one is going to say thank you. And if someone ever buys you a gift and say, thank you, Grace, for the breakfast you make for us every day, just jump and say, this is a Superman. Because marriage is ministry. Marriage is, in ministry, you keep serving, you keep giving, and not expecting even a thank you. You wake up very early. If your husband is to leave at 6, you wake up very early by 4 or 5 to prepare breakfast. Yes. If you have children, you have to wake up like at 4 to check on each of them. You check their temperature, you check their health, you check whether their beds are clean, you check their laundry, you check each and every part of your house before you go to work. And after that, you kneel down and pray for them. Then you wake them up. Breakfast is ready. So they come, they take breakfast. No one will say, very few people will remember to say thank you. They'll have their breakfast and they are rushing, let's pray. Then after you have a devotion and everyone does what? They go and you go. You go work, you come back earlier than every person to see that everything is fixed. Serving and serving and serving. Are we together? I see many working to pay fees for children. And all children say, but this time they didn't buy me this and this and this. And you know, but up to now, child is like, but up to now you haven't given me this. They haven't said thank you for this, but up to now you haven't given me. Are we together? You promised a smartwatch. You've paid the fees, you've bought new clothes, but now a child wants a smartwatch. You haven't brought a smartwatch, so you don't deserve a thank you. And that is a good daddy. No thank you. Yet he has one shirt on his back. Giving and giving and giving. You pay fees for children. Parents know. You'll pay 2.5 for this one. You pay 1.5 for this one. You pay this and that. You pay the other. Sometimes this time I paid fees for some children. I posted their receipts just to see someone who will say thank you. The one who replied me was after 3 days. And said, oh, thank you, Auntie. I saw the message. You get it? I just posted on their WhatsApp to see who will say thank you. And one of them hasn't called up to now. But I know after like a month, he'll be like, you know, when I went to school, all my resources got depleted. I need some pocket money. You keep giving and giving and giving. No one will say thank you. But don't get annoyed because marriage is ministry. So prepare to serve. If you are not ready to serve, don't go into marriage. First, break that stone, remove it from the foundation, and go ready to serve. Go ready to do what? To serve. And serving begins here. Serving begins. Someone who will be a good marriage material begins at this age. There are people who come to church. They make sure they come late. When they reach, someone has to find parking for them. You know those who come late are those with cars. You just notice. Those who come late are those with. So the deacon will be here to say, please park here. The parking is already full. Please fix your car. So this person comes. They reach, the church is almost full. The deacon is struggling to find a seat for that person. And then the deacon ushers them in. They come and sit. Then the choir comes to sing for them, like our sister Faith has sung. And then this person will not even say amen. Okay? Those are the people we are serving. And then before the preacher finishes, when they notice the preacher is almost concluding, this person stands out and then after they come to the pastor or the elder, please pray for me, I'm looking for a spouse. Someone cleaned your chair, someone ushered you in, someone looked for your parking, someone ushered you in and out, and now, are you ready to serve? You are so selfish, you can't serve anyone. There are so many opportunities to serve. You can decide that I'll go and help the deacons to wash the chairs. I'll be helping them to fix the PA system. I'll do this, and you can do something. At least serve food on Sabbath. Or teach a lesson. Or wash utensils. But someone who cannot do anything is not ready for marriage. You look at your nails all the time. You know? In marriage, you don't even know how the nails look like. You'll see them on Friday evening. You're like, oh, tomorrow is church. Because you are always serving and serving and serving. This goes to both men and women. There are those men who sit like this. They can't even wash the utensils. If you are a person who is looking for a helping hand, He's not good for you. Okay? And you notice all these things as you prepare for marriage. So, prepare yourself to serve. And begin serving now so that you get used. At home when they are cooking, be involved. Because in your own family, you'll be cooking. There are times when we go for master guide camps. And I look at young girls. They'll wake up and sneak and run away. They spend the whole week without even preparing what? Breakfast. And then you're like, what type of woman is this one going to make? You get it? Because there are times when you'll have a big family and they have to eat breakfast, lunch, and I'm this person who always has boys in the house. The boys will even wake up and tell you, Mommy, we are hungry. What are we eating today? You cook. For us, we are hungry. You get it? You tell them after eating, wash your utensils. If each one of them will come and dump and you find the sink. But Mommy, it was you on the sink. Are we together? Be prepared to serve. Be prepared to. When they get out of the house, you have to look under their beds because that is where the socks are, the dirty clothes, everything. This is normal. It is not abnormal. It's not only in my house. It is normal. And that is what you are supposed to do. Because when people come, they will not look at the boys, they look at you. You are the manager, you are the boss. Are you ready to serve? If you are not willing to go that extra mile, you are not ready. So please stay in your comfort zone. Okay? And serve with no expectation of a thank you. Serve with no expectation of a thank you. And you know, when I go back to the wise man, this wise man took his time to prepare himself for the big project he was putting up. You know, a house is a lifetime project. You'll build, when I was looking at this house, it was built so many years, and they were using bridge loan funds, isn't it? So many years, who knows the years? Generations, and this is your judge. So if you are playing with it, it is your judge, because I know none of you is older than it. This building. So now I picture this wise man putting up a building here. Are we together? And dealing with the foundation. Knowing that in 20, 30, 40 years, people will still be using the same building. And they must be safe. When you are building your marriage, if you want to have a happy marriage, start now. Dealing with the foundation. Knowing that it is going to nurture people for 20, 30, 40, 50 years. And 60 years, they will be looking up to you. Because marriage is forever. Okay? So, and the same winds that come to the wise man are the same winds that come to the foolish person. In this family of the wise man, there will be 6 children. In the family of the foolish man, there will be 6 children. The foolish person will be like, let me run away. I can't deal with sickness. Then the wise man will be like, let me nurture, let me love, let me help, let me look for doctors even in India and up to wherever, where I see experts. Are we together? In the house of the wise man, fees have to be paid. In the house of the foolish man, fees have to be paid. The foolish man will wake up and run away from the wife. Are we together? The foolish woman will run away. Are we together? But the wise will stand and say, this is our responsibility. It is our God-given what? Responsibility. In the house of the wise and in the house of the foolish, the same winds will do what? Visit. Why are they visiting? They are testing the firmness of the foundation. Where are you building? Where are you building? On the rock or on the sand? And if the foundation be destroyed, what can the righteous do? I call upon each of you this afternoon to choose to invest in a firm foundation as we build for a happy marriage. May God bless you.
We thank our preacher for those beautiful words. I believe we have all been blessed. Amen. With a lot of vigor and love, we shall stand up and sing hymn number 652.
There is beauty all around. There is beauty all around when there's love at home. There is joy in every sound when there's love at home. Peace and plenty here abide, smile on every sound. Time doth softly, sweetly glad when there's love at home. Love at home. Love at home. Time doth softly, sweetly glad when there's love at home. Kindly heaven smile above when there's love at home. All the earth is filled with love when there's love at home. Sweeter songs are proclaimed by brighter beams as the sky. Oh, there's one who smiles on high when there's love at home. Love at home. Love at home. Time doth softly, sweetly glad when there's love at home. Jesus, make me wholly thine when there's love at home. May thy sacrifice be mine when there's love at home. Safely from all harm I'll rest, with no sinful care distress. Through thy tender mercy bless when there's love at home. Love at home. Love at home. Time doth softly, sweetly glad when there's love at home. Let us pray. Our loving Father in heaven, we thank you for today. Thank you for speaking to us through this hour. And Lord, all we ask of you is that you help us to build on a firm rock, Jesus Christ. and establish us, so that as your sons and daughters yearn to have families of their own, you give them stable families that are built on a firm foundation, families that will not be shaken by winds of strife, of poverty, of challenges, of sickness, of whatever comes their way, but families that will stand and be established for the glory of your name. As we go into the other activities of the day, we pray that you continue to bless us and dismiss us with your blessing. We ask in Jesus' name.
Good afternoon. How are you? Thank you for worshiping with us today. If it's your first time coming here, this is Musda BS. We welcome you and may you come back again. We shall have a simple communication from our brother.
Happy Sabbath, church, and happy day. How many are happy to be here? Okay, that's great. I'm just here on behalf of the Family Life Department. Who knows our Family Life Director here? Huh? Who? Okay, there is an interesting afternoon program. I think you've seen a flyer. That one is obvious. Our speaker has an interesting afternoon program with the theme, The Only Reason to Marry. But besides that, we have a debate prepared by the Family Life Department on where we shall see women versus men. Women say